There we go. What up?
What's up, dude? How you doing, Chris?
Happy Friday, my friend.
It is Friday. I like that. I totally forgot what day of the week it was.
I know. Hey, I don't know if you were watching the Dodger game late night. It was the only one really going. There were a lot of day games, and then everything else had pretty much emptied out. And now we had Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and earlier in the day, the Diamondbacks had called up Josh Reddick,
Mm-hmm.
and he approaches the plate, and they play the old song, "I Saw the Sign."
I saw the sign or heard the sign.
Oh, jeez, Dieter.
Dieter, you got any garbage can songs?
Did you laugh?
I chuckled a little bit. I go back and forth on, the treatment of the Astros players. I know that this is part of their punishment per Rob Manfred.
Right.
But Reddick, in Reddick's defense, he was one of the guys who barely used whatever you want to call it. It wasn't an elaborate scheme.
Right.
But, so he's going to get a little bit. I understand he was a veteran on the team. He could have spoke up against it, but there's levels to it. If you want, you have to admit that. There are certain guys that use it a lot more. Reddick was one of the guys that used it the least. Him and Altuve, if we're being honest. So sometimes when those guys get more of it than they should, I don't like it. But look, they all were part of the team, and they're all just going to have to deal with it. That's how I feel.
I just laughed because the organist was playing it.
It's pretty good.
So, wasn't the actual song, was the organist inside. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Sometimes you have to laugh, and some people were like, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing that." Other people were like, "Yeah, let's try." I just laughed. I thought it was funny. I needed a laughing moment. There it was. Aha! Thank you. So
Reddick doesn't care. Like, if there's anybody that doesn't care about an organist playing a certain song, it's Reddick. He's gonna go play his game. After the game, he'll smoke a couple cigarettes and be totally fine with it.
Go watch some wrestling, and we'll call it a day.
Exactly.
By the way, if you're at the plate, do you hear that or not?
Blair at the Dodgers sound system is excellent, by the way, so I'm sure he heard it.
Okay. Speaking of the Dodgers, first meeting this year with the first place San Francisco Giants. How big a series is this?
It's big, dude. Call me crazy, but these are two juggernaut teams. I have trouble saying that with the Giants and equating them to be.
Do you believe it? Do you believe the word juggernaut?
There's all the stats back it up too, Chris.
Stop.
Like, they do.
Don't give me the stats stuff. You are a major league player.
What do you
they
mean?
pass the eye test?
Yeah. Did you see what they just did in Cincinnati? Put up 19 runs. I mean, these guys are banging it. And I mentioned player development with them. They're doing something right over there. ERA plus, OPS plus, they're right with the Dodgers and all the good teams up at the top of the list. So there has to be a point that you as every time we're like, they're going to fall off. They just don't. So this is a big series for them, okay? Like, if they go in and they take 2 out of 3, like, this is going to be a big storyline come Monday.
It will be. If they win the series, there's no question. The Giants are so interesting offensively because they're like bottom 5 in batting average, but I think they're 11th in OPS, which is exactly what baseball is all about today. So you might not put the ball in play, but when you do some damage. Like Crawford hit his 11th big fly of the season yesterday. Really impressive stuff. But their 3 best starting pitchers have been awesome. Kevin Gausman, he has figured it out. He is legit. He's in line to get paid. Alex Wood, if he can stay healthy and continue, it's going to be good things for them. DeSclafani has an ERA smidge over 2. Cueto's back. It might take him a little bit of time to figure things out. And their bullpen has been really good. Jake McGee leading baseball in saves. So I want to see them stick around. I'm just telling you, in their grand plan of what Farhan Zaidi has going up there, it was.
You love that.
I'm just telling you. I know it. Listen, if they went out and won the World Series, he's not going to be like, well, this wasn't my plan. I don't know how this. He's thinking that if I can flip some of these guys at the deadline and get anything for them, because a bunch of them aren't going to resign. Their entire starting rotation's walking after this year, except for Gausman, who they might.
You don't know that. Maybe they want to be there. I mean, it's obviously a great place to pitch.
Yes,
right?
no question.
If you mix that in with if there are guys there helping these pitchers reach a level they haven't been able to reach before, why would you want to leave that situation? I guess you're chasing the cash. If they can pony up and make a competitive offer for some of these guys, why wouldn't you want to be in San Francisco? That sounds like a pitcher's dream. It's the antithesis of Colorado, right?
Yeah, it's a great point. And one other note, the Giants are tied for second in the show in home runs, which is ridiculous. Like, what? No way.
Yeah.
So there you go. I would like to say cheers to them. And a quick reminder that today's Instagram Live here on the Rose Rotation is presented to you by Dugout Mugs. So go to dugoutmugs.com, use the code word ROSE, do a little early Father's Day shopping. You get the Dugout Mugs, you get the wind up, you get this handy dandy thing to open Pop's favorite beverage, and the knob shot as well. And the first 500 that use the code word ROSE at dugoutmugs.com save 35% off their offer. And then the next 500, you get 30%. The next 500, 25%. We're both dads. We have everything. We just want a little thought when it comes to the Father's Day gift, the third Sunday in June. We are doing the thinking and saving money for you. So it's dugoutmugs.com, code word ROSE, and you'll save some cash. So there you go. Let's move on to to Stephen Strasburg. Okay, I want to do this one. He pitches for the first time in 5 weeks, had some shoulder inflammation. So 11 years in, former number 1 overall pick. Give me one word to best describe his career to this point.
Spectacular. You know, he's a guy, Chris. I don't know what another word to describe him. He's the real deal.
I'm going to use hyphenated almost amazing, because only 5 times in his career has he made more than 25 starts in a season. And that's the only thing that's holding me back. You know, all these guys that have done it for year after year, like we just had Scherzer on the Chris Rose rotation. And the thing he takes pride in the most is the fact that he's been there and longevity. And we talked to him about 4,000 strikeouts. Would he rather have that than a perfect game? He said, yes, I would rather have 4,000 strikeouts because longevity is part of who I am. The fact that I'm there every 5 days is huge. But let's keep in mind, Stephen Strasburg still has a chance to be the best pitcher ever taken number 1 overall in the draft since 1965. It's going to be down between him, Garrett Cole, and David Price. So if Strasburg can find kind of like that deep breath and push through from age 32 on, he's going to have a chance.
Yeah, your level for amazing is very, very high. I mean, I think he has done everything that's been asked of him. Averaging 26 starts a year 30 starts is incredible. 26 starts is.
That's why I said almost amazing.
He's
almost amazing.
I think he's the real deal, man. I got to see him in AAA before he went up.
Oh, he's
he just has been all that's been advertised. You remember that first start too? Like, how cool was that?
It was great. 14 strikeouts against the Pirates. It was electrifying, no question. All right, there was a story that broke this morning in The Athletic as we throw a little audible. Ken Rosenthal and his group came out and said that there's a bunch of people that think pitchers are putting stuff on the baseball at an alarming rate, and it is changing the way fans care. And if not, should they?
No, they don't care, because we've been talking about this on JOMBOY Media and around baseball for years, literally years. Trevor Bauer tried to ring the bell on it. He said, hey, this is going on. You can't have 300 RPM spikes by training. You can't do that. The only way to do that is by putting a foreign substance on the ball. He said, I'm going to do it for an inning. He did it for an inning one year, and you can totally see his uptick in the RPMs. So it's a huge story that doesn't get enough respect. And JT Realmuto came out in this article, and I think by him, a catcher, a guy that deals with pitchers, putting his name on it, I think that'll get the ball rolling a little bit. I'm going to tell you this right now, too. I had 2 very, very prominent hitters in the game yesterday text me and say, Trev, we have to do something about this. It's ridiculous. Everybody wants to blame the launch angle swing. If you start to say launch angle swing around me, I might slap you. That's not what this is all about, okay? Of course you're trying to slug because people pay for slugging. But you think Major League hitters are only going up there with one swing? They're not. If you're a Major League hitter, you have all the swings in the bag. The problem is, man, these pitchers, the velocity is up. You can train velocity. I understand that. That doesn't matter. Major League hitters can hit velocity. When those RPMs are up, that makes the ball do completely different things than we've ever seen. And the only reason they're getting this, they're not training to get those RPMs. They're using personalized substances with the slow-mo cameras, and they're pitch designing, and it's It's absolutely illegal, and in my opinion, it's just as bad as using PEDs. And it might be even more beneficial than using PEDs for these pitchers. So it is a big story, Chris.
All right, that's saying something. I don't know if the fans, if they want to let us know in the chat whether or not they care or they don't care, one way or the other. Yeah. I do think it'll become a bigger story. You mentioned it. When a catcher who has to deal with his own pitching staff comes out and says it, man, there's smoke. There's smoke right there. And plus, I watched the number of times guys go to their mitts right after a batter has put the ball in play or something. He always rubs the inside of his glove. Always. It's ridiculous. I see it. I don't know why they don't see it.
Yeah, they're not hiding it, dude. And I just, if fans
you know what it is? You know what the problem is? Because it's incumbent on the other team's manager to call it into action. The umpires don't have unilateral discretion. They can't just go out and check somebody's glove. They have to be requested to do it. And the managers know that they've got guys on their team that are doing it.
Exactly. I could spend an hour talking about this, but people just get bored of it. Right. Like they're not trying to hide it. It's just a problem that, they'll say, hey, we just want a grip on the ball. We want to have control. You don't want 100 miles an hour at your head. Well, as we know, hit by pitches are at an all-time high. So that control narrative is out the freaking window, dude. This is all for spin. Because teams will literally sign you if you can get on your Rapsodo and show that you got a little bit of velo and you have efficient and high spin rate. They didn't have to watch you pitch. Send them the numbers, dude. So
Interesting. I like it. I love the inside baseball stuff. I think the way you guys think is fascinating. Last one. Tyler Duffey got suspended 3 games for throwing behind our boy Yermin Mercedes. Your reaction when he got suspended?
I mean, it's warranted. Like, he should have been suspended. Like, you can't be going around throwing at hitters. You just can't do that. It's bad for baseball. It really, really is. You want to see the best players on the field. Why would we want to go and hurt Yermin Mercedes when he's been such an awesome story? We want him doing his thing. So he should have been suspended. Now, I'll tell you this. He didn't want to throw at the guy. I know for a fact that did not come from Tyler Duffey. He didn't go up there willy-nilly throwing the ball at him, okay? I know for a fact. And now, like someone just put in the comments, he's going to lose $40,000. He's got a new little baby. You think he wants to lose that money? Come on, man. The guy's a reliever who's freaking worked his ass off to get to the point he's at.
Yep.
Doesn't want to lose that money. And because of some dumb old unwritten rule, he's got to go and be macho man because, someone told him to do it.
So, by the way, is that tax deductible? I'm serious.
So they'll let because they'll let you give it to a charity.
Got it.
And then you can deduct it. But I mean, look,
hey,
it's still not worth
$40 grand, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't making 10 mil.
Nope.
So
2.2 this year. And he's worked a lot to get to that point.
Right. So that's by the way, I don't think he should have been suspended at all because Tony La Russa pointed out he didn't do anything wrong. Right?
Someone said Tyler Duffey gets suspended for 3 days. Tony La Russa will be appealing it.
Right. That's great. That's funny. All right, what do you got coming up on JOMBOY Media?
I'm headed back to the studio right now. We're doing our Talking Baseball series recap. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about the stuff going on as well and preview some of the series that are coming up because it's a big weekend in baseball, Chris.
It is. What do you got? Really good stuff. We got White Sox, Yankees, as I said, Blue Jays and Rays with my guy Glasnow on the mound. So it should be good. Later today, actually about an hour from now, I am going to be recording the next episode of the Chris Rose Rotation with Stephen Brault. Everybody loves having Brault. Mm-hmm. And his old podcast partner and Pirates teammate and current Chicago Cub, Trevor Williams. So,
nice. He's a good guy, too.
Yeah, great guy. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the sticky stuff and pitchers, and we'll get a pitcher's point of view out there. So should be really good. Can't wait to get to that. A lot of interesting stuff. Somebody put in the chat, how much did you get fined in your major league career?
Nothing.
Not one time?
Not one time. I'm not trying to lose any money, man. I worked hard for that. Never got thrown out of a game. Never got fined for anything.
Dude, all I work with are good guys. Millar never got ejected from a game. You never got ejected. Can we get somebody? Come on.
I actually I got ejected in A ball. Oh, no, it was double A. and they charged me $25. I didn't like that. I went my whole big league career without getting thrown out. And then my last year, and I was just like rotting away in AAA. I was like, you know what, guys? I'm getting thrown out today. And I did, and it was awesome.
Really?
But I planned it. You don't get fined anything in AAA. It's calculated, Chris. It's calculated.
Wait a second. So you get fined in like low A, but not in
You get fined
AAA?
$25 is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. That's worth it.
Somebody was a first-round pick on this feed. It wasn't me. You could afford the $25. All right, listen, dude. Have a great, great weekend. Stay safe. We appreciate everybody's support out there. Don't forget, go get the early Father's Day gift, dugoutmugs.com. Use the code word ROSE. Everybody have a good, safe weekend. Follow us on the Chris Rose Rotation. We'll see you next week.
Yes.